Alright guys, hopefully you can hear me. I did have the dishwasher going in the background. So today I don't think I'm going to do anything crafty, unless you count cooking, because that's what I'm planning on doing. So I had shown you yesterday that I'm looking at them right now, that I have 6 squashes, and I don't know if I showed you the zucchini, but I have 4 zucchini too. So I'm going to make a casserole with that. But what I have going on right now with all those milks, which I think I showed you yesterday, if not, I'll insert a picture here. So I used a gallon of milk. I made it a double batch. I used a gallon of milk and 2 cups of sugar and 2 cups of rice. And I'm making not bread pudding, that's up for later. I'm making rice pudding. But I want to insert a picture here because I already opened it. I had 11 packs of carrots, so I'm making carrot souffle, and I had, the cat is licking me, I had 5 or 6 ham and cheese, turkey and cheese sandwiches. All this food that I'm cooking, I'm going to move you closer, all this food that I'm cooking right now is leftover school lunches that my friend who has 4 kids and gets 2 meals a day for those 4 kids from her county. I take the leftovers because I don't want to see it go to waste. So I'm making a bread pudding with the bread from the sandwiches. I took the meat off and I cut it up, and I am making some southern style green beans with those. I have canned green beans. I saved my bacon fat, so I'm not actually going to use bacon since I already have meat in there, but I threw the bacon fat, and so it'll have the taste of bacon. I put Old Bay and garlic in mine. And then, what else? Yeah, I'll show you guys the souffle later, but now I will show you what I've got going on right now. Alright guys, you can see the squash in the background. That's actually a cucumber. I might do something with the cucumber because I have 3 of them. Only one's on there because somebody else was supposed to take 2 and they didn't. I already gave 1 to my neighbor. So this is the rice pudding. You can see that it's yellow because there's a full stick of butter in there. This is the first time I'm using this recipe. It feels like it's thickening up. It has, oh, I'm struggling to see, 15, it's got about 45 more minutes to cook. It's already cooked for 2 hours and 15 minutes, but we'll see. If it sucks, I won't make it again. I have to stir it occasionally. And then I have my carrots and green beans going, and in that pot in the back, which is actually clean, despite what you're seeing right there, I think I'm going to make, I have 10 pounds of potatoes too, not from school lunches, but I think I'm going to make some mashed potatoes too, because that's one of my favorite things to cook. They are delicious. Okay, see you guys in a little bit. I forgot to show you, I also have the bread, so I talked about that. So here's all the tops and bottoms of the bread. They had cheese on them too, but I scraped it off the bottom. But at least now everything, not everything, mostly everything will be used and it's not going to waste. If I really had it together, I would repurpose that cheese into macaroni and cheese. Maybe I will try that next week when I get more. Alright, bye guys. So the green beans are done, and I might have burned them a little bit, but they'll still taste good. I'm in my own shadow. Not too horribly that I wouldn't actually eat them, so there's the green beans. I am looking for the carrots to be super mushy, and I did just add some water, which is why it's not at a full rolling boil. I added hot water because some had evaporated. The rice pudding, it doesn't seem, I mean the rice is getting bigger, but it doesn't seem to be thickening up all that much to me. So the YouTube channel that I watched and totally neglected to actually look at the comments, which is very weird for me in YouTube. Actually, I was watching it on my TV. I did not check the comments to see if it's actually good. So what the instructions said in the video is if it is not thick enough after the recommended time, cook it longer. So that's what we're going to be doing with lots of stirring. Guys, I'm tired of cooking these carrots, so we're going to call them done. And it does not look like the rice pudding is going to set up, so I'm going to transfer this, I think it's a 6-quart, you know, the contents of the 6-quart crock pot into an actual pot and boil it on the stove and see if I can actually get it to condense, because I mean, it, I don't know if you guys can tell, it doesn't look like it's reducing at all. So we're going with plan B. Alright y'all, we got the rice pudding in a pot. So I have it on 5 because I want that to come to a boil, and once it does, I'll let it simmer after that. Alright, wish me luck. I am so happy to report that moving it to this pot and actually cooking it worked like a charm. I have tasted it. The recipe called for nutmeg. I don't hate it. I think in my head I'm just so used to wanting to taste cinnamon that if I were to make it again, which newsflash, I'm going to, that I'd skip the nutmeg and just go right for the cinnamon. Or nothing at all. Like, you can add either of those spices after the fact, so that might be an option also, but I'm gonna dish this up and try to find people to eat it. Because, let's see. Like, it's about that full. Alright, see you guys later. So I got ahead of myself and I did not show anything of me making the bread pudding. This is a recipe that I've been using for 15 years or so. It's really, really easy. 10 slices of bread, 6 eggs, 3/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of vanilla, half a stick of butter, oh, and it calls for 3 cups of milk. I use 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream to make it very rich, and 1.5 cups of actual milk, whatever I have on hand. Today it was 1% milk. Okay, about to start making the squash. So I have a small onion diced, and my eyes are killing me now. If you guys can hear in the background, we are frying up this onion. the same pot we cooked our green beans in. And we're going to add a little bacon fat, because I'm not actually going to put bacon in it like the recipe says. And while this is sauteing, I will be cutting up the vegetable, the squash. So we have half our squash cooked, and we have 3 more to cut. I'm going to put this in the pan. So I have all my squash cut up and in the pan now. It's a little full. And I melted my butter. You're supposed to use Ritz crackers, but I have these garlic and butter croutons that expire in January. And we're not eating all that many salads right now, so I think I'm going to use these instead. Joe, is this the beautiful bean footage that you've been looking for? So glad I ran the dishwasher earlier, because I'm going to have to run it again tonight. Called for 1/4 of a cup, but I decided to go with 1/4 plus a little, because I had an open thing of butter from earlier. So there we go. And then I'm going to turn this on. As some of you may know, I actually I love cheese. I've had this brick of cheese for a while, and I think this is just the right dish to use it in. I am going to augment that with some Mexican 4-cheese blend. It looks like my squash is cooked, so I am going to go ahead and put this cheese in, plus a handful of the other cheese. So I'm not sure how well this is going to melt. I did do a little taste test. It tastes great. Going right in with my hand. Have I mentioned I like cheese? It looks like that cheese melts just fine. I probably could have gone with a little less of the shredded cheese, but I'm sure it'll taste great. The only thing left to add is cream of mushroom soup. That looks super gross. I am going to stir it in, and hopefully I didn't just ruin it. Doesn't look bad, so I'm going to let this simmer for just a minute or two. Then I'm going to put it in an aluminum tray and top it with the breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs? Croutons. Okay guys, here is the finished product. You can see that I dropped some on the countertop. I do have, so this one is for my friend. I have what's left in the pan for me, plus all those delicious toppings. Okay. So I made my casserole in a reusable container, and I'm gonna have some for lunch tomorrow. But we're gonna do a taste test because I scraped off the spatula. I don't know if you can see. I've got some of the crouton guts on there too. So it's good. Next time I might switch out the cream of mushroom for like a cream of celery or something like that. But it's, excuse me, it's very rich and salty, but I like salty. That ouches, my back hurts from doing all this cooking. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I'd feed it to people. I'm gonna call it a night. I need to do some editing so you guys have something to watch tomorrow. I don't think I even introduced what day it is. It is the 9th, which means it's Vlogmas day 12, maybe? 10, 11, 12? I don't know. Can't give you the peace sign because I got my hands full. But peace out, homies.